Yo, what's going on? Today we're gonna be going to another one of these freaking bozo buckarooskies. I can't wait to see what this a-hole has in store for us. Cut that out. And we are going to be, first of all, we're gonna be like, is this the video we're gonna be writing to, or is it gonna be the other one? I don't know.
This
Why
one. We're
can't you
reacting to
think it,
this one.
Mad Dan? Oh, I thought we were gonna react to the other one. Okay, whatever. We'll react to the.
We do this one, yeah.
Look at the other one.
And then the
We'll
other
do
one.
this one. So what
Yeah.
is this one? You'll have to educate me on what this one is. I have no clue.
It's by TOT. He uploaded a video.
That's Jake Ward.
Jake Ward.
Is my screen frozen right now? Is Discord bugging hardcore parkour?
I think your Discord's bugging or some shit.
No, I think it's because you're on the separate monitor, so it froze on the screen.
No, let me see. Let me know if you can see it now. Let me see. Tell me if you can see
Yes, I
it.
can see it now.
Okay.
Okay. Tot. Yeah, we're gonna be right. Tot.
Yes. Let's get right into it then.
It's not a scientific fact. Bodies have one of two biological sexes.
Biological sex is a scam.
Let's see. Mental health first. Yeah, we
in the
sure
trans
help with that,
community need you to stop using bioessentialist language. What is bioessentialist language? Well, that's when you use terms like male or female anatomy to refer to your downstairs parts.
Shouldn't that language be called the truth? Why do obvious facts need a label? Why label obvious facts as something negative? Facts about, let's say, biology are not positive or negative. They're just facts.
When you do this, you're playing into a false narrative that bodies have one of two biological sexes. This is not a scientific fact, but instead a myth disproved by the existence of intersex people.
There are only two biological sexes, and intersex people are either males or females.
I mean, then what way then? Like, you're gonna have to start getting into technicalities. Now you can't just make a claim without saying any technicalities.
Exactly, because
like, what does he mean? So it's like they have both parts, but it's like, yes, there's intersex people that are born with like their testicles, but not their with, but also with a vagina. But then there's also intersex people that are born with a, but like,
yes, it's not both parts. It's not like hermaphroditism. It's like it's a different thing.
You say that it's like a biological fact that there's only two. Those two, this goes back into what we were talking about earlier, but it's or not earlier. In general, is if that's the case, they identify as one of the two.
Exactly.
But they're not one of the two. They identify as one of the two. So that's gender, my friend. You're mixing it up right now. So you got to get your facts straight. You're not using terms correctly here. I don't know if you need to look in a dictionary, but I think you need to go back to language and like pick up a little bit on that because it seems like you missed
for sure.
there. But anyway,
Intersex
continue.
People are not a third sex. A male is a person who has the potential to produce sperm.
What did he say?
A female is a person who has the potential to produce eggs. Biological sex is determined by reproductive cells, and only two
then what about
exist.
what about the people that can't do neither? What about the people that? What about like what? What are they then?
Exactly.
So you've already in yourself like come up with like 4 different options for these different things of what people can identify as, because someone that can't produce the potential to produce eggs. What does that even mean? If that's the case, then because it goes back into your definition of what is it?
Of male and female. Right?
No. Potential. No? If that's the case, then anything has the potential, because who knows if there's there is potentially a like discovery of some scientific thing that gives the ability to produce eggs, gives the ability to produce sperm, like from someone else. So it's like everyone has the potentially to do that. So even in like that thing in and of itself, it's like, yeah, you can say what I'm saying. It's like asinine and fairy tale land, but it's like it's not like it's 0%. It's nothing's ever impossible. So the potential is there. You know what I mean? So it's like I like that in and of itself is like a nothing state.
Yeah.
Like bro has already said things that just don't line up in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And his condescension is just outlandish. So I'm just matching that energy. I'm just matching that energy.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Are also called gametes. Look it up.
Transphobes take this language and use it to exclude us from gendered spaces.
What does that even mean? Facts are not transphobic. I am so tired of this term. I mean, does it even mean anything? Maybe transphobic means that you are telling the truth. So maybe it's actually a positive
Well, you're
thing to
not.
be transphobic.
What
Well,
can
this
you do
goes back
instead?
into the thing we were referring to. You're referring to that as sex anyway, when the whole point of it is like gender. Like a gender is
Yeah.
for the 5 billionth time, gender is a social thing. It has nothing to do with biology. Sex in and of itself can be changed because you talk about the potential to do something. But then again, like changing that, you can change that, and it's like so. It's like if someone does have a sex change, do they no longer count? They no longer have the potential to produce sperm or produce eggs. So it's like, what about them then? Do they just are they neither? Or are they both? Like intersex
Exactly. Like,
people, if you
how
want
would
to say, it's
he? Yeah, how would he
like
classify
when
them
it
then?
turns to when it comes to biological standpoint, it's like what is it? Because you want to talk about
Yeah.
what about the people that can't do neither? What about intersex people that have both? What about yeah? So it's like it's not binary. It's not male and female. People can identify as male and female. Like you were saying, an intersex person, oh well, they are male and female. Well, they can identify as male and female, but so a lot of the time they're not one of those binary. Like it's like they could choose to identify as that binary, and that's what goes back into gender, is that they choose whichever they want because the possibility is there, or they could choose whatever they wanted. And so it's just the same with anyone else, whether you're born with a vagina, with a penis, with testicles, which whatever way you want to do it, you can choose to do that because at the end of the day, it's not really that hard to grasp.
Yeah.
And he
It's,
keeps saying facts, but like everything he's saying is just like half
he's not.
context.
Yeah, he's not really on the money.
He's just making a claim and then just saying, oh well, that's just facts. Well, facts don't care. Well, it's just facts. It's just facts. What it's like. Show us the facts then. If you really believe that, and that is genuinely true, then show us some like studies and some like documents on it. Then
Yeah.
show us some like stuff then, rather than just saying it with like such a condescending tone. Because someone that sure does sound a lot confident, you really don't have anything to back it up.
Yeah.
That you can
Essentially.
always say, this is what a cis female body looks like, or a cis male body
Mm.
looks like. It's a little extra work, but it's worth it to protect the already vulnerable trans community.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I gotta respect the self awareness. No, I don't respect it actually, but glad to hear you
No.
acknowledge the trans community is super sensitive. Something doesn't add up here. What does a cis female body look like? Your definition of a cis female body is something that I have as a trans man. I no longer have my breasts, and I know
You have a
that you can't
beard,
see it, but I
have a
have also
mustache.
removed my
Hmm.
reproductive system. I've been on testosterone for over 4.5 years, and it masculinized, is that a word? It made my body look masculine. But does that mean my body's not
So you've
female
already
anymore?
contradicted yourself.
Yeah.
Does
And,
that mean your body's not female
and I
anymore?
don't think the
Quite
person.
literally, yes. Like quite literally, yes.
And the person in the video didn't say that by definition he is a cis female. Because
Yeah.
a cis female would identify with the body, like with their female body, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
And
You don't have the body of a cis female
yeah, and
because you
he took
it's like
HRT.
yeah, it's like you can't just say that it's like, oh well, I still have the body of a cis when you like you literally do not. And that the case, then it's like how and then it's like why did you transition? And if you're just gonna say that about yourself, so at that point, it like if you're saying it was to is it to cope with gender dysphoria or is it to or it's a way to help your gender dysphoria? But the way you're saying this makes it seem like that's not the case. In which case, it would be just because you chose to
Yeah,
present masculine. So it's like at that point, it would be more of a social thing. But I doubt it's that.
it's
I'm
yeah, it's
like
not.
pretty sure it's the
Otherwise, why
first
would
one.
you do it?
Yeah, like why would you do it?
Hey,
Just because you felt like it? Like no, you had did it to like there was something that compelled you to do it,
yes,
and you took those changes, and you obviously look more masculine.
exactly.
Your definition of a cis female body is something that I have as a trans man. I no longer have my breasts, and I know that for over 4.5 years, and it
What?
masculinized, is that a word? It made my body look masculine. But does that mean my body's not female anymore? No. If you
Yeah,
disagree with me, do you think that
some
women
yeah.
who also get hysterectomies
It's
get
like like sex itself is a spectrum as well. So it's like it's not so binary because
Yeah.
of intersex
Like
people, and because like he like for example like it's like his body like he was saying, it's like it's more on the male side now. It's more on the male side, but he may still have
yeah.
like I don't know like maybe some maybe some of
He
his
thinks of
bone
things that
structure.
appear more
Yeah,
feminine. Yeah.
maybe his bone structure
But
is
hold
like,
on.
huh?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say his bone structure is probably more aligned with cis female bone structure, but that being said, there's also cis males that have certain parts of their bones that more align with cis females anyway.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
like that in itself
never
is not so
100%.
binary as well.
Yeah. And let's see what he was about to say.
Yeah.
The reproductive system removed are not women anymore? Do you think that female
Go back. Go back.
bodybuilders who are... No. If you disagree with me, do you think that women who also get hysterectomies, get their reproductive system removed, are not women anymore? Do you think that female bodybuilders who are on steroids, which is testosterone, are not women anymore? You see, the thing
Yeah,
is...
it's almost like it's not binary.
Yeah.
Like you're arguing against yourself here, my friend.
Yeah, but
It's like
it's
if
more.
that's the case,
Yeah. It's more
like
about the gender of the person and what they identify with. Like, because
yeah, it's
the
because it's like
female, yeah,
if you can you can look more masculine, and people like that's what I'm saying. Cis women get misgendered a lot too. It's not like that's scarce for them. It's like that happens to them too. Same thing with
mm,
cis men get misgendered sometimes too. It's not like it's a one-to-one thing because it's not like it's an obvious thing. You're talking about sex, where it's like, oh well, you can't be this because you were born this way. When at the end of the day, the entire point is they just want to be referred to as a certain way, and you can take things to change their sex. Because if you were to talk about sex, what would a person that can't produce sperm or eggs put on like a thing where it refers to as sex on a medical document where they ask for your sex? And it's like, because that is essentially just asking what that is. But it's like, what about people like Andy Milanakis? Like he was
yeah,
born with what was it? Like he didn't have the potential for either of those. So it's like, what is
yeah,
he? He refers to himself as he. He's a guy. So it's like,
yeah,
so when he put stuff down, he would put that he is like a male, but he doesn't have the ability to produce um fertile sperm. I don't know if he has the ability to produce sperm. I've never seen
I don't know.
anything talked about. But it's like because at the end of the day, it's not really that important. He says he's a guy, so it's like okay then.
Yeah,
Like he gets misgendered a lot.
yeah, he does. People think he's a woman or a little
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like it's almost like it's not easily defined. It's almost
yeah,
like it's not binary.
yeah. At
When you're
least,
sitting here having
yeah,
to jump around all these different loopholes of like, well, if this and this and this and this happened, then that's why it's this. It's like if there is a counter argument to everything that is stated that is not like just completely made up or completely false, then it's like, what's the point of just saying that it's binary? Because at the end of the day, it's not like it's that big of a deal anyway.
yeah.
Like the amount of like condensation. I forgot the word.
The
Brain is going off the
condensation,
walls back now.
the condas condens
Condescension,
yeah,
yeah,
condescension. That's the word.
is just like outrageous, especially for something that like realistically isn't that big of a deal in terms of how it's looked at. The thing that is the big deal is that there is a group of people that is like genuinely being harmed by this sort of narrative and this sort of points because
Yeah,
like it's not that big of a deal to respect someone as what they want to be, but
yeah,
it is that big of a deal when they are like actively being like discriminated against and oppressed by when laws are getting passed against them to the point where that's happening. So it's like it's not like it's that big of a deal, and it's like, what's the point of making this video anyway? If you want to get really into it, it's like let's say in a world where you are correct, where it's like there is only two sexes, but it's like, what does that change? Like if someone's
mm.
almost identify as something, then let them, because it's like at the end of the day, it's
It's
like
not a big deal. It doesn't harm
people
anyone.
are people are people, and they identify as what they want, as what they
Yeah.
are. It's just what they, yeah,
Well, let's continue.
No
yeah.
matter what medicine you're on, no matter what surgery you get, you can never change your biology. And real
But
transition...
you just did. Like, he's got
You,
a beard now.
you,
He's got more muscle
well,
mass. What do you mean?
yes, quite literally, yes.
He's
But
got
like,
a
what
little
about
Adam's
someone
apple
that
now
takes?
as well. You can see his Adam's apple developing. Like, what is he on
What about,
about?
what about people that take HRT before, or not before puberty, but like when they get on puberty blockers, start it
Yeah.
and have a full then it's like at that point the biology is changed. If you're referring to biology, are you referring to the bottom parts?
Well, they do refer to bond parts, but then when the bond parts are removed, then they always talk about the chromosomes. But if they don't want to talk about the chromosomes, then what about the women with XY chromosomes rather than XX chromosomes? What about that then?
Like Klinefelters or like anything. It's like there is no like, oh yeah, well what about this? It's like anytime there's a what about this, what about this, there's this too. Well, you can't just say that without recognizing this, because no matter what
Yeah,
you say at this point, there's going to be people that is excluded from your definition.
and it's like when you say that to
And
them,
if
they'll just
people
say
are
it's
excluded,
the exception.
yeah, so it's like if there's an exception, how come there's many different exceptions? It's not like there's just one exception, there's multiple.
Yeah, so if there are many exceptions, then it's not really a rule that there's only two sexes.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Individuals don't need a third category to describe their bodies. It's kind of weird. My body is
What?
a third category. Can never change your biology. And real transsexuals don't need a third category to describe their bodies. It's kind of weird. My body.
They don't. They
Why not?
if you're
I mean,
but if you're a transsexual female, you're just a female. If you're a transsexual male, you're just a male.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you want to get into that. It's like when you like, what's the point of that? And it's like you said, there a third option for these people? It's like, well, then it goes back into intersex people again. It's like
Yeah.
they are not male or female according to their parts. They identify as male or female or non-binary or any other
Yeah.
what they identify as. So it's like you can't just be picking and choosing when it's to fit your narrative. That's
Exactly.
exactly what he's doing here.
Let's continue.
Is and will
Yeah.
always be female. And no one in this world needs to change the way they think, the way they speak, or view biological sex just because I exist. Believe it or not, but transsexuals' existence doesn't change a goddamn thing about biology and reality in general.
Anybody who tells me that I'm a biological female is going to get blocked.
Honey, you can block as many people as you want, but you will always be a female.
Not only because
Well, that's just straight up transphobic.
Yeah, that's just literally just transphobia.
That's just extremely transphobic.
Yeah. This.
And it's like, oh my gosh, facts. Going back into this, like, well, that's just facts. It's like like I don't.
Well, if he
You're
will
the
always be
body
a
of a
female.
female, and you can't change your biology of it. Yet you like you like literally have.
If he's always going to be a female, then why did he bother with taking HRT then to change his body?
Yeah. Are you just gonna say? Are you gonna go like, oh, well, you had gender dysphoria, and it's like, well, you wanted to live your life as a guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like I don't know. I'm not gonna assume anything that he would say there but still, it's like, what's your point there?
Yeah.
transphobic thing to say to me, but also because they're wrong.
Again, it's almost like being transphobic is a positive thing. I want to make
What?
merch
How is
so
it a
bad.
positive
It's
thing?
not a positive thing.
Okay. Let's look at that statement in and of itself. It's almost like being transphobic is a positive thing. How is like even if it is true, like you see your kid, the kid says that they want to be Spider-Man,
Hmm.
and you tell your kid you're never gonna be Spider-Man. That would upset the kid. They would cry. You keep doing stuff like that, and over time, that kid will have a resentment towards you because of that. That's not positive. But if you get the
Exactly.
kid the Spider-Man outfit, the kid would love you because it's like, oh my gosh, I get to be Spider-Man. This is so awesome and cool. But if you don't, the only like nothing negative comes out of giving the kid the Spider-Man suit.
Exactly. It's the same with transitioning. It's literally always positive. 99% of the time. Unless you have detransitioners, but 99% of the time, that's a really big number. 99% of the time, it's a positive outcome. So what's the issue?
Well, no, I don't think it's a 99%. It's a positive outcome. I think what you're thinking of is the 1% of the people that transition regret it, not the detransition. That's the regret rate. Is like 1%, not the people. Like I think the detransition
Oh,
percent is
okay.
higher. Yeah.
Okay then.
Guys,
But basically, well, we can agree on that most of the time, like 99% of the time, it's successful. Transitioning is successful in the long run and helps.
transphobe. But I think many of you are too scared to buy it. And I get it, but it could be quite fun though. Us transphobes over here are not wrong. It is very obvious that you're a female, and I know
You are wrong.
So it's so weird. Just like calling yourself that, and then just like being like, yeah, and this, like, that's like, if you were correct, how come like there's places that is like genuinely just won't accept you for being transphobic? Like one of the only places that you can even make some sort of statement is on the internet. Like go to like work somewhere and say, yeah, I'm transphobic.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna, and it's like, how is that a positive thing? Oh, that's because it's politics, politics, politics. This massive big thing because it's political and it's a political. No, it's not. Like these people just want to exist. Like, you just want to exist as male. You want to exist in the present masculine. That's you. And the thing that you're advocating for, even if you did hold this belief, the people that you're advocating for and showing you this are not going to accept you, buddy. They still don't like you. The people
Mm.
that say the same stuff that you're saying, the transphobes, like they don't like you either. Sorry to break it to you,
Yeah.
but who are you trying to appeal to?
Exactly.
Like I don't want to get into like a whole other subject because ADHD is a correlation, but it's like it's the same thing with like Uncle Tom's, where it's just like, what are you trying to gain
Yeah.
from being like so
Just
anti-trans when
hard
you are
hard
trans?
grifting, I guess.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
I know you're not used to hearing this, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a female.
Biological sex is a
Okay.
scam, and even if it weren't, my T levels, not female.
Ooh, great argument. You know what? I like this logic. I think I'm gonna identify as a millionaire now. I might not have
That's what
millions
they
of
always say. They
dollars in
always
my
say this
bank
shit.
account, but that's just a false definition.
But if I identify female, I still no. If I identify as a
No, see,
millionaire,
this is the thing I don't get. But being a millionaire is like an actual It's like that is a material currency that you can obtain. You
yeah,
can quite literally not have money to do it, but it's like an actual thing. That is like gender and being like in your terms of like sex, it's like you want to talk about like biology, it doesn't change it, but it does. It's like I don't know what I can say to change the
and
idea
if
that
you want to be
yes,
if you want to
it's
be a
changed.
millionaire, if you want to be a millionaire, you can still be a million. It's like extremely hard and it's a hard road, but it's like you can still do it. So his point, like the point he's making is like it's conflicting
Oh
with it.
well, actually no. Going back into what you call it, you have to. Everyone has the potential to be a millionaire, so that means everyone's a millionaire. Boom, there you go. Just completely like you say that, but if you have the potential to be a millionaire, so therefore you're a millionaire,
Yeah,
according to his
Ooh, a
logic.
millionaire. The fact is, I do have some money in my bank account, so that means I'm a millionaire.
that
You
doesn't.
might have a lot more testosterone
A
in your.
million is $1 million, whatever the
Yeah.
currency is. So it's like unless
No,
you
he
have
has the potential to get $1 million though, so he's a millionaire.
so true.
Blood than other women, but your body is still female. Do you know why? You still cannot produce the opposite sex gamete.
Then what if they could?
Well, what about the people that can't produce either then?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you say it's like, okay, well, they can't make the opposite sex gamete. What about the people that were born with like a vagina, everything like cis woman, but they can't produce eggs. They can't produce
Exactly.
sperm.
Like
It's almost like what is your point here? Goofy. I don't know. I was gonna make
Biological
a swear
sex is a
word.
fact.
no.
It's a reality. But so too is gender identity.
I have never, as a trans person, used the term gender identity.
That's because you're
To say
transphobic.
I
Yeah. Well,
identify
we know you
as
haven't.
actually
Thanks for setting
means
the
I
obvious.
pretend to be. The reason why people
What?
say
I
I
identify
identify
as
as is
pretend
because
to be.
they
It's almost like it's a social thing, and it's
Yeah,
not pretend to be. If there is a cis male that still presents feminine, but they still identify as male, what are they? They are male because they say they are. It's like I don't know.
yeah, and gender identity isn't a pretend thing. It's scientifically backed up as well, like the existence
Yeah,
of it.
where it's just
Yeah,
like yeah, because like I was saying, at the end of the day, it legitimately just it doesn't matter because it's like what harm comes from being.
I know.
You know they're actually not said thing. Because if they don't tell you what they identify as, you would just assume that they
Mm.
are a total different thing. The term gender
Mhm.
Well, then,
identity is
and then at the end of the day, you say that it's made up. Then what about the people that do it? Like I was saying, the men that identify or that dress up and present as more feminine, and they look feminine. They look like a woman. They mistake for a woman all the time. But it's like, no, I'm actually a man. What about those people then? What are you gonna pull down their pants and look at their schmeat? Like, so it's like, how do you even know?
Exactly.
that they are a total different thing. The term gender identity is bullshit. I've seen too much Suits.
Okay, well, what about the scientists that don't agree with what he's saying then? You're just gonna
Then
disagree
what
with the
about the
science?
people that don't agree with? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bullshit. God damn it. You can determine someone's biological sex. You can actually figure out what
Yes,
somebody's
you
sex is.
you can.
You cannot determine someone's gender identity.
You can. You ask them. If you
Yeah,
ask them,
yeah,
then they can tell
actually.
you. It's that simple.
because it's all up in their heads.
Both are real.
Okay, well, let
Biological
me make a quick Google search to look at something.
It's
Okay, so
gender,
it
you
says
said.
that sex refers to the different biological and psychological factors of males and females, such as reproductive organs, chromosome, hormones, etc. What about the people that like don't fit into that though, but also that are like
Look,
identify
it
as?
says nearly.
So it's like,
Here it says 97%.
yeah. Okay, so I looked this up and it says if a baby is born a hermaphrodite, what gender do they put on the birth certificate? In some places, Australia since 2003 and New Zealand since 2012, they have an X on their birth certificate. If they're born in Germany, they won't have a gender marker, which shows their sex is indeterminate.
Oh, okay.
California is looking to add a third gender marker for birth certificate. Pakistan allows people to put both, other on all government issued documents. Other places allow people to have a third gender on other legal documents. Yeah, because it's like saying that it's other because it's like
Okay.
historically in China and other patriarchal societies, an intersex baby would be assigned male genitalia at birth if possible. Yeah, and what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis, I believe it's her, where she was born with both, but they removed her penis when she was a baby. So yeah, it's like it's almost like if you talk about putting down sex or for putting your sex down, put male or female, like that had said, like if it's undetermined because they don't know, because it's almost like it's not binary. It's almost not
Yeah.
like it's just two. Because if
Yeah.
there was a third, because it's like if there was something else that it's like you can't definitively put down an answer to, then how is it binary? How is there just two? Like
Yeah.
that is a fact. That is a fact that there is not just two, because it's I don't know.
sex and gender identity are different, but they're equally valid.
True.
No. Marcus, sex and gender are only two different things for trans people, not for the rest of the world.
No, it's for
No.
everyone.
Look, the
No,
definition
it's
of
quite literally is. Like, okay, let's do this real quick. Let's do this real quick. Just to put a little bit of point. Let's go to Google and Google it and all be all, but whatever. Gender, the male sex or the female sex, especially when considered with reference to social and cultural differences, rather than biological ones, or rather, range of other identities that do not correspond to established ideas of male and female. So basically, it just means that it's not a biological thing.
Mm.
And then even at the end of the day, like, I don't know. This is just giving me a headache.
right
Continue.
and left, the directions, are unchangeable, will always be the same. You cannot claim
Why is he
that
comparing
left
it to
is sometimes
direction
right,
now?
right is sometimes left. Gender and sex are the same. It doesn't make sense to claim that sometimes a
If
woman
gender
is
and sex are the
biological.
same, like this is something. If gender and sex are the same,
Yeah.
in what way? Like you can't just say this is true because it's true. Give us some information. Give us some more information.
Yeah, back it up.
I'll give you some homework. I'll give you that. Like so, just like prove us right or prove yourself right. Prove us wrong. Prove
Yeah.
yourself right.
Male. A woman is always a biological female. A female is always a woman. Even though my brain
So
doesn't
what
like
about
that I'm
the
saying
cis
that.
women? They can't do that then.
Yeah. What about the?
They
What about
can't
the?
produce.
What?
You said specifically that a woman is the potential to produce eggs. Well, what about the people that are born with female on the birth certificate? Everything. It's like, okay, this is like statistically, this is looking like it is a woman, and then they can't produce eggs.
And what about the cis female with polycystic ovarian syndrome, where the testosterone levels are really high for a
Yeah,
cis female,
or like Klinefelters, where
and
they
their
have
body
X
actually
like
they start
chromosome.
growing beards, they start like more muscle mass.
Yeah,
naturally.
Yeah, or like the
'Cause
same
they're yeah.
Klinefelter chart, they have breast tissue and hip growth that is similar to females, but they just have an increased level of estrogen. I
Yeah.
believe that's what it is. Or lower testosterone, I'm not sure. But still, it's like,
I'm a woman. My existence as a trans man doesn't change the definition of what it means to be a man.
Trans women are women,
What?
but they're not the same as other women. They are different from
yeah,
biological women.
Then how can
but
you
they're still
claim they're
women.
women? Can't you hear how stupid you sound? How can you
Oh
be
Because
my
they're
this
still
god.
women.
Well, then
women
what?
on this earth?
Okay, well, then
So
what about the cis women that are cis women that can't produce your definition of women?
Exactly.
There's different types
Like
of women.
we
Well,
can keep
listen
going
to
back
this.
to that as well.
Yeah, it's almost like people are different everywhere, and it's not like it's like a one definition fits all. Because if you say the definition that you have of what a woman is, there's gonna be some people excluded,
Yeah.
hold
no
on,
matter what
but
you
you still
say.
don't know what a woman is. I don't want to sound condescending or arrogant here, but even children know this. If a person doesn't fit the
If
description of
children know
woman,
it, then how come you say how come people say that they're too young and too ignorant to know that if they're trans or not?
Exactly.
then they're a
So if the
man.
children know that, and a children says and knows that they're a girl, if they were born male, then it's like, who are you to say that they're just a kid and it's just a phase? Then you just told yourself that they know it,
That's how
and it's
simple it
like,
is.
But that
Exactly.
difference is legitimate, it should be accepted and respected.
No, misogyny shouldn't be respected and accepted.
What? How's that misogyny?
It is misogynistic to claim that women don't deserve to have their own category, their own experiences, their own spaces. We don't really hear society trying to change the definition of man, what it means to be a man. For some
it
reason,
Yeah,
quite
because
women.
literally is.
but
It
there is.
quite literally
But it's just
is.
in the media.
It's
It's
literally
always
the
about
whole
trans
point
women
of
though. That's the
that's the
thing.
whole point. Hush up. There's the whole point of toxic masculinity is pointing out the absurdities and the way that men are. A lot of men are. And point out how absurd, like the way that society pushes this effect on men, to where men think they have to be big macho, big hua kabua, like strong man, caveman brain, go get money. People are trying to change that. That is what the whole point of like what feminism was in the past, was like pointing out that it's like men do not have to be this way. That is not what a man is. You do not have to follow these gender roles to be a man. You can be a woman and follow those exact same gender roles. That doesn't make you a man. You can be a man and follow the women's gender roles and not be a woman. It's almost like it's all stems from like a social thing.
Yeah.
Only talking about changing the definition of woman, just in order to include men. Grandpa, you think that women should accept trans women as women, respect them, acknowledge them as women. But why should they? These trans women, fake trans women in my
Because
opinion.
it's what they want. It's just to
Yeah.
respect them. It's just because they want some respect. You're literally saying, why should I respect these people as people? There's a
Yeah.
trans person. They are a woman. They are a human
Because
being.
there's no harm in doing so, and
There's
but
no harm. Yeah.
there's harm in
Sorry.
not doing so, as we can see.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
you want to get into like, what's the negative side of it? Look at the suicide rates of this. You breathe into your mic a lot, by the way.
Sorry.
But it's like, just look at the effects that it's had on trans people. The trans people are like literally scared to like say anything about themselves. There are trans kids, younger trans people that are just scared to do anything. The suicide rates are high. The amount of bullshit that's being, sorry for swearing,
Yeah,
sorry
it's
for
fine.
cussing, but that's just being pushed on them. The amount of like laws and bills that are legitimately being passed around the world to stop these people from existing, to identify as what they want to be who they are.
Yeah.
And that's not negative? Tell me that. Riddle
We'll
me that.
never respect biological women. Have you ever heard about this thing called mutual respect? Real transsexual women do respect biological women, and they don't go around saying that trans women are
But if it's mutual respect, then why can't it be both ways? Why can't cis women respect trans
Yeah.
women?
How come you can't respect trans women then?
Yeah. If it's so mutual
Like, your
respect.
point is just saying you're not going to respect them as a person.
women, and
You're
they don't go
actively
around
taking a
and demand
category of people and saying, no, you're not.
Yeah.
to be in women's spaces.
A lot of the trans critics argue that biological sex is the basis on which women are oppressed. And that is partly true. Partly true. In large parts of the world, however, women are also oppressed because they don't conform to the way women are supposed to dress, speak, and act. Women are oppressed because of their gender nonconformity, not their biological sex per se.
How dare you say this? They are being oppressed due to their biological sex. What are you talking about? Gender
Yeah, but what is
trying to
Blood about to yap about
calm
now?
down a
Let's
little
see.
bit. There are certain places in this world where women are not allowed to be masculine, and it's due to them being females, women, same thing, that they're being oppressed. If gender identities are valid, are real as much as biological sex, how come the women who are oppressed across the world can't just identify their way out of experiencing oppression? Have you
It's
ever heard about
almost like
female
they're
circumcision?
being oppressed. It's almost like they
Yeah.
coexist. It's not like only one can exist. Both of them exist. Go to a place where women are oppressed and they start trying to say that they're trans. Where was it? Where the woman that took off her hijab got killed for it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you yapping about, young blood? Little pup, I
Do you
think
know
you need
how
to like
brutal
actually educate yourself.
female
Yeah.
Like actually do
circumcisions
some
are?
research in this rather
I
than
think
just
that's
yapping about it.
Exactly.
female circumcision. Do you know how brutal female circumcisions are? I think that's the perfect example of female oppression, and these females cannot just identify as a man or something in between in order to not get abused like this.
It's almost like
Trans
with the
people
places that women are oppressed, trans people are also oppressed. Being trans in these areas, that we legitimately just have to deal with it. There is no way out of that. If there is
Yeah.
someone that is a trans person that exists in these places where that is, how are they supposed to they like
and
It's a headache. This guy's a headache.
many
absolutely
biological women are both oppressed because they don't conform to gender roles and
Yeah.
stereotypes.
It's
exactly.
true that passing real transsexual women experience some of the same struggles as biological women. They have to deal with some of the
So
same
you've already
stuff, like
contradicted yourself.
catcalling.
Yeah.
But to
God.
say that men with gender dysphoria are women due to that, I can't. Let women be women. Leave them alone. Us trans people, we can.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
can
Let women be women and leave them alone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Precisely. Yeah.
exist in society without changing it. We actually, out of all people, do not want society to change. So please do not
Who
speak
is
for
we,
me, old
young
man.
blood? You and like 4 other people? Get the squad together.
Yeah,
Hop on
his little
1v1
squad.
us or like fight us in Fortnite. Let's see who comes out on top. Let's settle this like real men, me and you. Hop on
Look like a
Fortnite.
fool, and you're making us trans people look like fools too. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more
Yeah, always a
content like
pleasure.
this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support me
No
and my
thanks.
channel, you can become a member, or I have my PayPal link in the description down below. Remember to follow me on social media. I love you, and I cannot wait to see you in the comments. Peace out.
Blasphemous.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching,
let
everyone.
me give a final statement. That was
Yes,
just full
give
of
us.
contradictions
It
here and
was.
there. Like there's like everything that he said. It's like it's not like he could have like one full long statement video without something like being jumped and like jumped across. Like he just made so many contradictions, just so much like intellectual dishonesty, and just saying like, well, it's facts. Well, the reason that happens is because it's facts.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna have to go like get the fish burger.
Yeah, we need a
Calm
fish
down,
burger.
Chris.
Well, thank you for watching. And you will see us in the next video.
Yeah, like
And
and subscribe
like and subscribe. Hit the notification
if you
bell
want to.
if you want to. And we'll see you in the next video. And have a good day wherever you are.
Absolutely.